We often walk away from a marriage, not because love has ended, but because we've forgotten how to love. Before you sign that divorce paper, listen to this story. It might lead you to choose differently. That night when I got home, my wife was serving dinner. I gently held her hand and said, "I need to tell you something." She sat down and quietly continued eating. I saw pain in her eyes. I struggled to speak, but finally whispered, "I want a divorce." She didn't shout. She simply asked, "Why?" I didn't answer. That silence made her angry. She threw down her chopsticks and cried, "You're not a man." That night, we didn't speak. She wept while I stood in quiet guilt. I no longer loved her. Jane had my heart. What remained for my wife was pity. I drafted a divorce agreement, the house, car, and a stake in my company all hers. She tore it up. The woman who gave me 10 years had become a stranger. I felt sorry for the time and love she had invested, but I couldn't take back what I had said. The next night I came home late. She was writing something at the table. I went straight to bed. In the morning, she showed me her conditions. Nothing material, just 1 month before the divorce. She wanted our son's exams to be undisturbed. Then she requested something unusual. She asked me to carry her from our bedroom to the front door every morning, just like I did on our wedding day. I agreed, thinking she was trying to hold on to a little dignity. I told Jane she mocked the idea. Doesn't matter what tricks she tries, she'll still lose. On day 1, carrying her felt awkward. Our son clapped. "Daddy's holding mommy." That stung. She said softly, "Please don't tell our son." I nodded. I set her down gently and drove away alone. Day 2, she rested her head on my chest. I noticed the scent of her blouse. I hadn't looked closely at her in years. She wasn't young anymore. Wrinkles had formed, her hair graying. I realized what marriage had taken from her. By day 4, our intimacy returned in quiet waves. I felt more connected with each morning lift. I stopped telling Jane how I felt. Somehow, it got easier to carry her, not just from practice. She was becoming lighter. One morning, she couldn't find a dress that fit. She sighed, "They're all too big." That hit me. She had grown thin from holding in too much pain. One morning, I unconsciously stroked her hair. Our son called, "Dad, it's time." Carrying her had become part of his morning world. She embraced him tightly. I turned away, afraid my resolve would crumble. On the last day, I could barely take a step. She felt too light. Our son was already at school. I held her closer than ever and said I never noticed how much we were missing. I rushed to the office, parked without locking the car, desperate not to waver. Jane opened the door. I said, "I'm sorry. I won't divorce." She stared, touched my forehead. "Are you sick?" I moved her hand. "We weren't missing love, just appreciation." Jane slapped me. She cried and slammed the door. I went to a flower shop. On the card I wrote, "I'll carry you out every morning until death do us part." That evening, I arrived home, flowers in hand. Smiling, I ran upstairs to find her in bed, lifeless. The ambulance took her to the hospital. She had been silently fighting cancer, hiding her pain, so our son would see me as a loving husband. Even in the final chapter, she protected what mattered most: love and the memory of tenderness. She gave me everything, just didn't give me a chance to make it right. Reflections and lessons at the end of the story. 1. Love doesn't die because feelings fade. It dies when we stop truly seeing each other. A loving glance, a morning hug, a quiet gesture. These things fade not because they're insignificant, but because we forget to give them space. Like winding a delicate watch, love needs attention to keep ticking. Neglecting the small things is how connection begins to disappear. 2. A final gesture can sometimes revive what we thought was lost, but life doesn't always wait. The husband didn't expect his wife's simple request to awaken such deep emotions. But sometimes, the window for healing is brief. If someone close is still quietly waiting for a gesture from you, let time close that door. 3. Children feel everything even when we think they don't understand. The son wasn't told about the divorce or the illness, yet he absorbed every emotional moment. For him, watching his dad carry his mom became a daily ritual of love. Children read emotional undercurrents more clearly than we realize. Our choices shape their worldview. For infidelity isn't always cruelty sometimes. It's emotional blindness. The husband wasn't necessarily heartless, just disconnected. Silence filled their space. Jane offered escape, not depth. This story doesn't condemn, but it reminds us. Letting emotional distance grow too wide can make someone stray without truly meaning to. 5. Sometimes one person just needs to be truly seen to feel like they still matter. The wife didn't ask for assets or pity. She asked for one moment of tenderness, a symbolic reminder of love once shared. What she needed most was to feel acknowledged, to not be forgotten. Ask yourself, have you looked at the person you live with lately? 6. Sad stories aren't just painful, they're mirrors for healing. Her quiet death and his too-late realization leave behind a wound, but also a lesson. There's probably someone in your life you've started to overlook. Maybe this story is your chance to stop, turn gently back. Does this story evoke anything for you? Your views? Your feelings? Your story? Please leave a comment for Mindful Parenting channel. We always appreciate what you leave. Bye-bye and see you again.